looking at UNISA Theory of Music pre-grade 1, and we're looking at the October 2021 past paper and how to fill it in systematically. So you are able to get this original copy from UNISA itself. They do have publications for sale, and I'll put the link to all their publications in the description. Question 1.1 all has to do with grouping by means of adding one rest or multiple rests under the asterisks. So we're going to take a look at the first three here. The first one is in 3/4 time, and we know that if we're in 3/4 time, we have to look out for our 3 equal crotchets, and here we can see there is a crotchet, and if we're just looking for another crotchet, and of course we have to add rests and not notes in this question, we will just put a crotchet rest there. The next one, we're in 2/4, 2 crotchet beats. We need a crotchet. You can always do these markings that I'm doing in red in pencil, and then you can erase them afterwards. So this first crotchet is over there, only halfway done, so we know that we need to complete that by having a quaver rest there to complete that first crotchet beat. Then we're just missing the second crotchet beat, and we can just have a crotchet rest. So you'll see there are 2 rests that need to come underneath this asterisk. Then the next one, we're in 3/4, so yet again 3 crotchet beats. Our first crotchet seems to be intact, and now it looks like we're just missing half of the second and half of the third crotchet. So we're going to go ahead and fill up this beat first, and then fill up the last beat. There we go. So without all these markings, this is what you will get. And we cannot just go over here and say we want to make it a crotchet because it equals to the same thing, because this sort of obscures beat 2 and 3, and we really want to see each beat separately. So that's why we have to have 2 quaver rests under this asterisk. Question 1.2 also has to do with grouping just by way of adding a single note to complete your bar. So first up, we have a bar of 2/4. So yet again, this is just going to be 2 crotchet beats. That's what we expect in 2/4. So this beat is complete. This beat is half complete, and if we need to add a note, that'll just be a quaver note under this asterisk. Okay, next one, we have 3/4. So we're really looking for 3 crotchet beats. Here we already have 2, so those 2 are taken care of. We just need a single crotchet beat, and I'll add my crotchet note there. Then 2/4, and there is nothing in the bar. So we're just going to go ahead and put a minim note there. The reason why we are not going to just go ahead and outline our beats and say 2 crotchets is because the question specifically says add 1 note that will complete the bar. So 1 note that will fill a whole bar in 2/4 will be a minim. In question 1.3, we are given bars of incorrectly grouped notes, and we just have to improve the grouping. So here in this example, we have 3/4, and we have 6 singular grouped quavers. Now it is a rule and a recommendation that in 2/4, 3/4, and 4/4 time, that if we have a bar full of quavers, we're just going to go ahead and beam them all together. So in the space that they will end up giving you, you're just going to have your 6 quavers all beamed together. There we go. In my second example here, also in 3/4, we're going to look how to correctly group this. So 3/4, yes, we need 3 crotchets. That seems to be perfect. Here we have a crotchet beat, here we have a crotchet beat, and in each beat we would like to group them as tightly together as possible so that we can see a single beat. So that beat is already sorted out, beat 1, Beat 2, no reason to have two quavers when we can just make it a single crotchet rest, and then no reason to have two singularly grouped quavers on a single beat. We're just going to go ahead and group those together, and there you have your 3 beats grouped perfectly together. Question 1.4 asks of us to write a note below each asterisk that is a semitone higher than the given note. So first things first, we are in the treble clef. Make sure that you know your clef and you take a note of it, because that will affect the note that you read, the note that is given to you. Here we have a C sharp in the treble clef, and a semitone above C sharp is merely D, so we'll go ahead and just write a D, and we can use the semi-breve as they have given to us. Next we have the bass clef, and it's a B. Now B, upper semitone, is C. So no writing anything like B sharp or any type of anything else. Merely C if you think about your keyboard and if you think about your exceptions when it comes to semitones. Then we have treble clef. We have a D, and the semitone above D is merely D sharp. In question 1.5, we are asked to fill in the missing bar line. So this means we have to take note of our time signature. This one is in 2/4, which means after every 2 crotchet beats, we will fill in a bar line. So here we have a pattern of quavers. This will equal to a single crotchet. This will equal to a single crotchet. So I can put a bar line after 2 crotchet beats. Here's a single crotchet. These 2 quavers will add up to a single crotchet. I can put a bar line after 2 crotchet beats. Then there are 2 quavers that equals to a crotchet, another crotchet beat, and I can put another bar line there. Each bar line that you draw will add up to 2 marks. So bar line, bar line, bar line, and for this question you can get 6 marks. In question 1.6, we have to add the correct clef to each of the notes that we are given so that the note and the note name will match. So firstly, they give us an F sharp and they say that it is on the highest line of the stave. So that is definitely treble clef. So we start around the G line in the treble clef, up and down. There we go. 2 marks for just drawing a single clef. Another one of the examples, they give us an E on this space. So that is definitely bass clef. So we will go ahead and put our bass clef in. 2 marks, there we go. You can check out the rest of the picture. And then 1.7, we have fill in the missing tonic Solfa syllable. So we have do, re, mi, blank, so, blank, ti, do. So if you think about our Solfa, we think about do, re, mi, fa, so, la, ti, do. We just have fa and la to fill in. And that is the end of question 1. The whole of question 2 is just scale writing, and you get 8 marks for writing each scale. So do pay attention to how you go about doing this. In pre-grade 1, we only have 3 possible options for them to ask, and in this question, they will ask 2 of them. So we will either be asked from C major, F major, and G major. One of those will not come up, but 2 of those will definitely come up. In this paper, we have F major ascending in the bass clef and C major ascending in the treble clef. So let's go ahead and write that in. F major, of course, starts on F, and we find our F over here in the bass clef. We write our 8 notes up. We fill in our key signature. Here we have a B flat and F major, and then we're going to go ahead and fill in our semitones. They do remind us to mark the semitones with a slur, so they will remind you in the question if you don't do it naturally yet at the moment, but here we go. So semitones lie between scale degree 3 and 4 and 7 and 8 in major keys. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 marks, there you go. Then the next one, we have C major ascending in the treble clef. So C major, there we go. I'm just going to start in middle C. Up we go with the 8 notes. C major has a key signature of 0 sharps and 0 flats. So no need to add anything there, but we of course need to mark our semitones. 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. And there you go, 16% right there on the board. In question 3 and in question 4, we are sort of given music comprehension examples. So question 3, they say here, study the given music example and answer the questions that follow below. So they give us a moderato example. 3.1, they ask, write the time signature in the given block. There we're going to go ahead and write 3/4. In which key is this piece written? Definitely pay attention to your key signatures here. In pre-grade 1, we only have 3 options. We could either be in C major, we could be in G major, which has an F sharp, or we could be in F major, which has a B flat. So I see a F sharp in the key signature, so that says G major to me. It's also confirmed by the piece or the little extract starting on a G and ending on a G. Then they say, what is the technical name of the note on which the melody ends? It is a high G. And in G major, G is of course the first note, and that means the technical name for the first note is tonic. We will write tonic there and get our 2 marks. Then give the technical name of the highest note in bar 5. The highest note in bar 5 is a D. And D is the G, A, B, C, D dominant of G major. So we will go ahead and write dominant there. Then they ask the interval, which at this stage can only be a third or a fifth. So they ask the indicated interval, and over there in bar 3, we can see the arrow pointing towards the D and G, and that is definitely an interval distance of a fifth. Next question, if you turn over, we have 3.6 that says draw a circle around all subdominant notes in the music score. And the subdominant here would have to be C. So all the C's that you see in this question 3 example, you have to go ahead and circle so that you can get those 2 marks. Then give the meaning of the following terms: moderato, which means moderately, and crescendo, which means increasing in loudness. That is your question 3. Let's move on to question 4. Another little extract here, another music comprehension. Study the given music example. Answer the questions that follow. Firstly, name the key, and we said we only have 3 options: C major, G major, F major, in no particular order. So here, name the key. I don't see any sharps or flats, and the piece is beginning on C and it ends on C, and this just confirms that this is C major. And you'll notice whatever key or clef they give you in question 3, it'll sort of be opposite and different in question 4. So in question 3, we had an example in the treble clef. So in question 4, I can most definitely expect to have an example from the bass clef. And here it is. Then write the time signature in the given block, and here we are in 2/4. So we can go ahead and fill that in. Question 4.3 on the next page. What is the name of the shortest note value? And we can see that that is a quaver. And also, how many beats does it count? It definitely counts half a beat. For us, at the moment, a beat is just measured in terms of crotchets. So a quaver is half a beat. Name the interval indicated by the arrow, and here it is between an E and a C, and that is definitely a third. Then you need to write the letter name of the technical names that they are spelling out for us here in the passage. They want us to name the tonic, the dominant, and the subdominant in terms of note names. So we have to have had our key correct in order to answer this question. So we said C major, and that is correct. So if we have that, we're already halfway there. Tonic of C major, of course, tonic is the first note of a scale, first degree of a scale. So in C major, that would be C. Then they don't ask it to us in order that we know, as in tonic, subdominant, dominant, or 1, 4, 5. But they ask it to us tonic, dominant, subdominant. So be careful. Don't just assume that they're asking it in a particular order. Be careful. They're asking dominant, which is the 5th. So that is G, C, D, E, F, G. And then we have the subdominant, and that is, of course, F. Then 4.6, how must the notes be played in bar 7? And we can see that they are staccato quavers. So we will put down there, they need to be played in a detached way, or we can just write down staccato, which means detached, or short and detached. Anything to that effect will give you your marks. Lastly, we have question 4.7, which says give the meaning of the following terms. So you will go ahead and give the English meaning, English or Afrikaans definition. So we have allegretto, which is fairly gay or fairly lively, fairly quick. We have mezzo piano, which means moderately soft, and then we have our rit of ritardando, and that just means gradually decreasing in tempo. And there we go. That is your October 2021 pre-grade 1 theory of music paper. And remember to always play from original sheet music and to make your mark on original music sources.